fire, but
Sorry.
You're okay. We'll start with some opening remarks from you.
You know, it was great to be back home. You're on the road for a few games, and I felt like we were on the road. However it was, kind of, you got SEMO, Eastern, Little Rock, Tennessee State, Tennessee Martin. So we've had a lot kind of away from here. So it was nice to get back into the arena and with our group of people. And we had a good week of practice. It wasn't always easy. I think the guys really responded to a lot of the variables that took place and a little bit of the challenges that took place. And you come out there, you have, the Metro East out here supporting us. These guys love it. Like, they help us win games. Like, when we take leads, don't be afraid to yell extra loud at the people. I saw one fan at the end of the game was making the other team a little frustrated. So, we appreciate it with the support that we've been getting. There's no doubt about it, and I'm just very grateful for it. So as the game started, we didn't get any stops initially. So that was frustrating. I think it was 11-11. Ended up going, then they took maybe a 6-7 point lead. We never let it get away from us, even though we weren't really guarding. It's a little different than the Tennessee Tech game. We were guarding, but we weren't scoring. And I think it came down to finally getting comfortable. And then at the end of the game, we made some big plays and really won the game from a defensive standpoint. Even though we didn't, overall, we gave up 76 points. And I think they shot 48% from the field, 41% from the two. But if you look at those last 2 or 3 minutes, it was all defense that won us the game.
Coach, maybe not the defensive effort you would like today, but your offense has scored 80 plus in the last 3 games. What have you seen from the offense recently? Yeah,
I mean, I'm shocked we had 11 assists again, and well, 2 things. At the end of the game, what's that?
We drew a lot of fouls.
We've gotten to the foul line the last few games. That's been really important, and then we've been making them, and we have 11 assists. I thought that, we're unselfish in our cutting. I think some of our cuts and some of the other things are allowing for us straight line drives. And, we're not attacking single gaps quite as much as we were when we're not in a good offensive swing. But we like playing with each other. They want success for their team. I was just saying to Ray had a wide open shot at the top of the key. Wide open shot at the top of the key. And the guy kind of ran at him late, and he threw it to his buddy over here, and he banged a 3 in the corner. And that, to me, was just really, it was cool to see for a variety of reasons. But we're willing to give to one another. And then I think at the end, like I said, we got a lot of offense from our defense. We had 2 or 3 stops at the end. Like, Ray had a layup. Dez had a couple stops that led to free throws. So that was huge.
And then talk about the fight from Miles, who's kind of, with Arnis going down, he's picked up a lot of minutes. And then Jordan Pickett's came in off the bench, and he's really utilized that bench nicely, going about 8-9 deep. Yeah,
and I could do it more. I really can. I have a group of guys out there that are really good. Jordan Hamilton, Eddie Tirado, and who else? I'm sure I'm forgetting someone else. We have Chom. Chom can really play, and he helped us. I'm very fortunate to have the group on the bench. Reynard on the bench right there, and I think we might have the best injured bench too in the league at times. But I'll start with Miles. Miles is a tough kid. He's a tough. He's tough. He's got a great attitude. He wants to be around all the time. He's in my office the other day where I probably didn't watch enough film, but we were spending time just kind of hanging it up, chopping it up. And he came out here, and I made a mistake. Mistake's probably the wrong word, but I wanted to go with him at the end of Tennessee Martin defensively. And I didn't know who to take out, to be honest with you, because I trusted the 5 guys that were out there at Tennessee Martin. But in my mind, I just wanted to get him involved at the end for a big stop, and I thought that it was cool to see. I was able to have an opportunity to kind of right or wrong a little bit, and he did that. And then Jordan Pickett, what he does is he has a lot in his tank. He believes in himself a lot. A lot of people believe in him. The locker room believes in him. His role on this team right now, he's really figuring out when to pick his spots, and he's trusting his teammates, and his teammates are trusting him in a lot of different areas. I thought he got us going defensively. He had a huge steal to a layup. I think he got another steal or deflection, hit a three, hit a couple, I think. And he just brings it every day. And he believes that he can even bring more to this team. And I like that. I'm good with that, because he doesn't ever take it away from the team because he might not have had as much opportunity early. And I told him after the game, I'm just proud of him as a person.
You had some? Go ahead.
Yeah. So right now you guys are top 40 per defensive rating of all D1 schools. How do you think, or what are your expectations as far as the rest of the season goes after a game like today?
I'd like to defend a little bit better based on that number and live up to it a little bit. I just believe whenever you're playing for somebody and you're willing to give of yourself and trust the fact that, all right, my teammate is going to be in the right position so I can make a basketball play. That's what I want to see continuing going forward. He got a swipe at the end. I think 3 or 4 of our steals at the end, other than his on the ball, were a result of guarding the ball well and then off the ball, good positioning. So I just want to continue to see them play for one another. It's fun. It's fun to coach.
Okay, Des, do you kind of want to talk about the dunk that you had? It's obviously very uplifting for the crowd. Everybody's excited for it. Just tell us about what was going through your mind at that moment.
At that point, honestly, we really needed a stop. So I think I was more focused on the stop, and then everything just fell into place. I'm pretty sure JP got the swipe, or was it Ray? It was Ray or JP. Yeah, JP got the swipe. When I was guarding him, he got the swipe, got the steal, kicked it ahead. No, bounced to Ray. Ray kicked it ahead, and we got the dunk. So I was really just focused on the stop that we needed at that point.
Yeah, of course. And then Ray, coming back home after having 2 games on the road, 24 points, 3 steals. Just kind of talk to us about your night that you had.
Obviously, like you said, I had a pretty good night, but like he said, it started on the defensive end for me, and then obviously I just got on transition, got some easy layups. I got to hit some threes though, but besides that, I had a pretty good game. So.
Yeah. Starting at the beginning of the game, there were a couple of times where it seemed like both teams were kind of scrambling to grab the ball. What's going through the team's head at that point? Like, how are you getting everybody collectively together to kind of figure out the next play and keep the momentum going?
I got it. We was emphasizing getting 50-50 balls. That's kind of why we lost the last game. We just didn't get to a couple 50-50. So we wanted to make sure that we was there, and we got fouled on a few loose balls. So that means we was getting to them, and in the end, the ball found energy, and that's why we got to the line, knocked down some free throws, and won the game.
Of course.
Ray, it's your 5th win when trailing at half. What's it say about this team being able to be resilient and coming back in the second half to get a big win?
We never give up on each other. So even some of the games we lost, we still fought in the second half. So it's just about getting stops. Like he said, we wanted the best defensive team. So it's just getting stops. We got on transition, and then just playing with a lot of energy. Second half, that's pretty much what happened. We held them to 33 points, which is pretty good for second half. Not the first half.
Rayshon has 4 consecutive 20-point games and 10 straight double figures. How fun is it playing with him?
It's been fun. Personally, I've seen it since we first got to campus. So him performing like that isn't anything new. He's been blessed with, a skill set that he has of putting the ball in the hole and scoring. So him doing that is just a testimony to our team and putting him in spots where he can get easy shots and him executing it.
And then, Coach, for you, Ring put up 0 against Lindenwood, and then he scored double figures in 5 straight games. Talk about his offensive ability here in the last 5.
Ring's a guy that I think he's versatile. He can knock down a 3, he can get an offense. He had a huge extra effort play at the end of our Tennessee State game. He put us over the top today when he had his and one. He can score from the mid-range. He can get out and, like I said, transition. He's a versatile player. And I think that what happens is when you're surrounded by a group of guys, like obviously Rayshawn can really score well, but he does it the right way, in my opinion. And I think where he's starting to figure out a little bit of where he can get his opportunities based on spacing, based on slashing, knocking down his free throws. He's a great person as well, and I think that he wants to be part of something bigger than himself. And right now he's trying to figure out, and he has figured out a little bit of, continue to stuff the stats in a variety of ways, and usually that's with some points.
Oh, and then looking ahead, you have Morehead State coming in. Right? They're number 1 in the conference. What are you guys going to do to knock them off?
Well, I mean, it's always a very big battle since these guys. I think that was your first conference game ever, right? At Morehead State. We went down there and won at Morehead State 5 years ago, and we've always had some nasty games with them, and their coach Maddox does a good job. He was an assistant there previously. He was at Murray State, and then he came back. But we just have to, put this one to bed, learn why we won, but and then bring it on Saturday. I mean, it's about as simple as that, but it's very hard to do.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.